All right, good morning. How you doing, guys? One second. All right. So, how's everyone doing? Morning, morning, morning. Abu Dhabi. I would love to visit there one time. That's a really long flight. All right. So today, August 23rd, Tuesday. One step closer to some major economic data. Some nice downside yesterday, definitely. We had some nice plays as well on Tesla. Finally, yesterday was a nice comeback day for me. Wrapped up. It was about $1,000 on the day, a little bit shy of it, but I needed that day, right? So I've been talking to the chat and been talking to you guys about some of the slow action that I had last week. Pretty struggled through some of last week and needed a nice day to get that confidence back. And yesterday was definitely a nice day. Nice downside on Tesla, clean rejection. We talked about this rejection here in the pre-market live stream. So that worked out really nicely. I'm going to see if I can build upon that today. Some nice setups out there today as well, and a very, very big level to be watching on the NASDAQ and ES. So if you saw the title of this live stream, major level on the NASDAQ and ES, we moved right back down into it today or yesterday, and we're sitting right above it today. We're just sort of hovering right above that level today. So is there a reason to see some, kind of sympathy bounce off this level? I think that's totally possible. I think it's totally possible to see us bounce a little bit off this level. Now, ultimately, does it hold? I'm not sure. Could I see some type of short-term sympathy bounce off this level? Absolutely. So have to be sort of aware of both sides here. The pressure is definitely to the downside. Pressure was to the downside Friday. Pressure was to the downside yesterday. We saw a lot of weakness. Basically, every bounce was getting sold into. So does that continue? Probably. I mean, I would say it probably will tend to continue, but there's definitely a area to watch today on the NASDAQ and ES to make sure you're understanding of, to not get burned on, right? You have to make sure you know what this level is to be aware of when you're trading. So definitely, excuse me, definitely some important stuff to watch today. Let's get started. Thank you guys for being here again. Thank you for all the support as well on the stream and on the videos and on the channel across the board. Thank you guys so much for everything. So yeah, let's get started. If you guys want to press that like button early on, that'd be awesome. Here we go, 8:23. So economic earnings calendar, futures, of course. Let's pull up the economic real quick just to reiterate this. We talked about it. We'll look at it every day, of course, just for anyone that's maybe not aware. So here we go. Today, manufacturing PMI. This should be something to watch out for this morning. It's around 9:45, so about 15 minutes into into open. So if you're in a trade around this time, just be a little bit cautious. Remember, guys, 9:45. Don't get surprised if you see some type of volatility. 9:45, manufacturing PMI. So watch out for that. Tomorrow, nothing too crazy tomorrow. Durable goods, core capital equipment orders at 8:30. But Thursday, Friday is where it starts to get real juicy here, guys. So jobless claims, 8:30 Thursday morning. GDP revisions, 8:30. So 8:30 on Thursday is going to be real interesting. And then Friday, we're pretty packed. We got PCE price index. We got real disposable income, real consumer spending, nominal personal income, nominal consumer spending. And then we have the Jackson Hole retreat that Fed Chair Jerome Powell will be speaking at. So Thursday, Friday, things get a little hectic. Just be aware of that. Pretty much until then, we should be pretty light. Maybe some volatility 15 minutes into open this morning. But until then, Thursday, Friday, that's going to be real interesting. So watch out for that. We had some earnings last night. We'll look at a few of them here on stream. Let me pull that up real quick. Okay, so we had Zoom. Zoom is going to the downside as it should, of course. Zoom downside off of earnings. We have Palo Alto, PANW. That stock went up pretty nicely. I think it also reported a stock split. So that's definitely something we're going to look at today. I know a lot of guys in the chat like to trade this stock. This morning, we had JD, Dick's Sporting Goods, Macy's. We'll look at a few of these. After close today, Intuit, Nordstrom, Advanced Auto Parts, Toll Brothers. Nothing I'm interested in. On Wednesday after close is really the big one for the chip stocks. As well as on Thursday. So the chip stocks or semiconductors, NVIDIA, Marvell, those are some big ones. So definitely important for, the overall semiconductor space. AMD, Qualcomm, TSM are all going to sort of move off this news from NVIDIA. So definitely worth watching that on Wednesday after close. We got Salesforce, Snowflake, Autodesk, Peloton, who cares about that? Dollar Tree, Dollar General, that's interesting for the overall retail sector. So there's your earnings calendar. We'll look at it every day just to remind everyone, but that is that. Okay, Tesla, 877, 880 level. This is where I played my downside off of yesterday, and I'm looking to do the exact same thing today, to be quite honest. It's at the exact same level, and if it rejects again, I'll take the exact same trade. So definitely watching this. 3 gap fill names. We're going to look at Amazon, Walmart, and we're going to look at Disney. Amazon, Walmart, and Disney all have very nice gaps to the downside. Walmart's pretty much already filled it. So I'll give you the example of how this works. Walmart definitely did it already, but Amazon and Disney are the next 2 up, potentially. Microsoft, key level rejection this morning. XLE, you see the energy sector still sort of holding up, sort of consolidating. NVIDIA, AMD, we'll take a look at those. We will look at Zoom to the downside. Zoom had earnings, really ugly downside on Zoom. We'll take a look at that. Apple levels, and then the PANW breakout. PANW broke a pretty big level here off of earnings. So definitely stuff to watch there. We'll obviously look at a few more names if we have time. If you guys want to pop them in the live stream ticker form, make sure to do so. All right. In your Disney swing, nice. Yeah, Mike, it might work out nicely. It looks good. We'll look at it today. All right, let's get started. So, NASDAQ. So, daily chart. Here's the daily chart, guys. And we're definitely at a very key level. Very, very key level here on the NASDAQ. So, you look at this right here, you can clearly see what's going on. You have the previous rejection point. You have the previous support, right? And you bounced off of it here. Broke out, right? Break. And I think this is coming in for a retest, right? Now, does this, right? There's factors, there's sentiment involved in this, right? It's not just, I buy this right off the retest and I look for more upside, because there's economic news to be careful of this week. There's sentiment changes that is possible. There's momentum change that's possible. So am I going to buy long? Am I going to go long here on the first day that I see a hold? Probably not, right? I need to see a few days, right? In this example, you saw about 3 or 4 days, and then you got some sentiment change to the upside, and that's sort of what caused that hold. Here, I'm going to be cautious of just, saying, oh, okay, retest, I'm long, right? I don't think that's the right way to approach this. This is a very nice potential retest. It is definitely there. There's no doubt about that. It's definitely possible that the NQ and the ES sort of hold this level and maybe try to have some sympathy back to the upside. I think that is totally possible. If we start to see some bullish momentum step in, if we start to see some hold here over the next few days, if we can get through this week with the economic data and stay above this level, then I would be more of I'd be more of a, what's the right word I'm looking for? Can't think of the word. I would be more comfortable. Let's just say that. I'd be a little bit more comfortable to look for that if we can get through this week and actually maintain this level, right? So this is 12.9 to 12.8. 12,900 to 12,800. It's about a 100-point range here on the NASDAQ that needs to hold. This is a must hold here. 12.8 to 12.9. That is a very, very important level here today, guys. So if we go down to the hourly chart, we'll see this in a little bit more detail, make it a little bit more clear at what we're looking at here. So here on the hourly chart, you guys can see, right, if we look at this hourly chart, you can see there's a shelf right here. It's right around 12.8. So you had a 12.8 bounce here, right? Boom, 12.8, boom, 12.8. 2 double bottoms at 12.8, and that is what caused that upside, right? 12.8 double bottom caused the upside. Now, if you flush 12.8, right? If you were to flush that 12.8 double bottom, this is back from July 29th and August 2nd. If you were to break below that level, let's say right here, break below that double bottom, turn it into a rejection, then I think you have some downside, right? I definitely think there is downside here. You have a pretty straight up move from around 12,000 to 12.8, guys. This is like a 3-day period of 800 points on the NASDAQ right here, which is pretty astonishing. So if you do start to lose this 12.8, then I think there is, warranted, there could be more downside warranted under that 12.8. However, what you guys can start to see is starting to happen as of this morning, right? And as of last night, this is where the market started to hold yesterday, right? This is where the sell-off halted. This is where the sell-off stopped. So it's right in this same previous demand, and we are at it again. So Anyone's best guess today, right? If you just go off technicals, then this would technically be a good area for a demand bounce, right? This would be a good demand bounce area. But I am not someone that's going to get too aggressive after seeing this, right, over the last 2 days. I need to see this start to slow down. I need to see maybe a day of consolidation. Maybe today we just do that, right? Maybe tomorrow we can get a break of the higher high, start to consolidate again, and then maybe, I'll look to play it. Or maybe I wait until next week to play this. But I just can't. I think it's a little too early just to totally jump in on this, to go all in on something that's this early. So today is definitely a day of, watching, learning, seeing what the market wants to do at this level. How do we hold it? Is it strong? Is there buyers that support this level? Or do we just flush through this? And if we just flush through this, then the momentum's going to continue to the downside. So that's what I'd be watching today, guys. This chart should be on your screen at all times today. There should be no reason you do not have the NASDAQ on your screen as you are trading today. This will make everything react. So if you see this flush through, you're not going along on anything, right? So watch out, guys. 12.9 to 12.8, 100-point range on the NASDAQ. This is a huge level today. Okay, ES is the exact same thing. Daily chart. This is a little bit of a wider range on the ES because it was a wider range in the past as well. So here's the ES on the daily chart. You have the highs here around 41.80, and you have the lows that around 40.80. You have a previous rejection here, previous triple bottom support here. You have a previous bottom here at 40.80. So you have a bottom here at 40.80, and you have a top around 41.80. And we are trading right in the thick of it, right in the center of that range on the ES. If you go to the hourly chart, we get some more time here, you are going to see the exact same thing. So we are trading right within this little chop zone, right? This chop, and we are trading within this chop. So what do you think happens if we break 40.80, right? If we break this low, this is a triple bottom support, boom, 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 support, support, support. Again, support, support, support. This is where we bounced off of, right? And you can see that we broke to the down. If we break to the downside under 40.80, then you're going to see the downside movement. The SPY and the QQQ is the exact same thing. The SPY is the exact same thing as the ES, and the QQQ is the exact same thing as the NQ. So just reiterate this analysis on the SPY and the QQQ. It's the exact same thing. So you have the support here from 40.80, and you have this support from 40.80 again. What happens in this chop range? That is anyone's best guess. I wish I could tell you, but I can't, right? I can't tell you what happens realistically and accurately within this zone. All I can say is that if we break 40.80, you're going to see downside. If you break this 40.80, you're going to see downside. If you get back above 41.80, then maybe there is an opportunity for a bounce here if you can get above 41.80. So it's about a 100-point range on the ES, 41.80 to 40.80. Those are the levels I'd be watching. That's your upper and lower bands of this channel. These are the levels you should be watching. If you just stay inside of this channel, be careful trading intraday options. Be careful trading short-term expiration options. If you just chop in this zone, be careful getting chopped up. Please. You saw the nice price action we saw here, guys, right? Here's the days where you want to be trading. This is where you want to trade. This is what you want to trade. This is what you want to trade. You do not want to be trading in this. You do not want to be trading in this. You want to be trading in this. You want to be trading in this. Something like this. You want to be trading, not really here, maybe this push, right? This push. You want to try to take advantage of those big days. Inside of here, please do not trade directional plays. Like Mr. TNT said, you could go with condors if you want to trade that, but directional trades within chop zones is dangerous. So please be careful of that. So 41.80 to 40.80, that's the levels I'd watch on the ES today, guys. The ES is the S&P 500 futures. All right, here's the Dow. So the Dow, I didn't really update the Dow yesterday actually, but it doesn't even look like I need to at this point. Let's see. Yeah, it's still pretty accurate. I'm looking at these levels here. I mean, that's definitely a level there at 42.90. Yeah, so here is, let's go daily chart. So yeah, the Dow is retesting this level here. You can see it right here. I'm actually going to delete this because I think this is actually sort of irrelevant at this point. We can put it back on a second, but this is the exact level where we're retesting. You guys see this little shelf, this previous rejection on the Dow? This is the daily chart. Rejection, 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 boom, breakthrough. So it took us 3, 6, 7, 8 days until we broke through that rejection point at 32,900. We came right back to it, right? Break, retest. Break, retest. So now you have to see, does the break and retest work here? I'm not sure it does yet. I'm not going to be the first one in this, but here's what you're watching today, guys. Here's the Dow. You're watching for this previous triple top rejection point. It's really more than that. It's like 8 times. And you're looking to see, does it hold on this pullback? That's what you're looking for. If not, if you break under this 32.9, then I would be looking for the downside. Okay? So that's the Dow. Here's the Russell. Russell's doing, everything's doing the exact same thing, guys, right? It's all the exact same stuff, right? Same exact thing. You have a break, you have a retest, you're right back into previous supply. Does it turn into demand? That's it. It's the same thing across the board. Russell, previous supply, does it turn into demand? NASDAQ, previous supply, does it turn into demand? ES, previous supply, does it turn into demand? Dow, previous supply, does it turn into demand? That is your question today. That's what we have to answer. Can't answer it right now. I can give you the things to watch. I can light up the road. I can give you the pathway, but I can't tell you which way to go. So, yeah, that's what I'd be watching. Those are the levels to be watching today. Very influential. And also, please remember that you have economic data later in this week that will influence which way this goes. All right, that's that. Tesla. So here's Tesla on the 4-hour chart. Actually, you know what? Let's drop this to the hourly. Let's go 4-hour first. So 4-hour chart, you can clearly see the demand below, right? You have the triple bottom here. You have another support yesterday. The demand held up yesterday, right? You can see right here, previous levels in this zone, and we held it again yesterday. So that was the level I was careful of when I was playing downside yesterday. That's why I was sort of taking profits as we were moving lower. Could have held on a little longer, but you know, it is what it is. I don't ever try to wish I held something longer. Good trade to the downside off the rejection, and you see you held this bottom here around 860 to around 855. So 860 to 855, that's the level to watch out for on the downside. If you break 855, then that's your ultimate bear case under 855. However, here's sort of what I've been watching on it in the short term. Here's the 5-minute chart. So the reason I played Tesla yesterday, I sort of moved these levels for today, but the reason I played Tesla yesterday was because of this pre-market rejection here. It's very clear. Pre-market rejection, Friday's lows, and look at that rejection we had early morning yesterday. I mean, it was absolutely perfect. So you had Friday's lows, you had pre-market highs, and you came back into it at market open, and look at that rejection, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you look at this again, I'm going to sort of put a level up towards around 880 because that is sort of the pre-market high today. So I'm going to watch this entire zone between 880 and 877, all within here. Let me draw this out. So all within here, right? That's my sort of that's my possible rejection point on Tesla. So when I come into my trading day and I'm on the 1-minute chart and I'm looking at this, I say, all right, you know, anywhere in this green zone, I'm more biased for rejection if I see it happen, right? I'm not buying puts if Tesla is showing market strength, right? If it's doing this and the NASDAQ's pushing higher, I'm not going to be buying puts if, you know, we're getting through this previous rejection point. I'm only buying puts in this zone Let me get that. I'm only buying puts here if I see something like we did yesterday. So if I go to yesterday, right, look at what we saw yesterday. We saw a push, right, and this is sort of a Matt Diamond type trade. We saw a push. We saw it create this, opening range between around 874 to 877, and then you guys can see the break of the opening range, and then boom. So if I start to see the rejection sort of set in again today on Tesla at the exact same level, which is right here, exact same level, I will look to do the exact same thing today. All right. So that's what I'm watching on Tesla, 877 to 880. That's your upside rejection point. If it breaks through, then maybe you have some more upside. If it breaks through, you probably have some upside to fill the downside gap, right? If it breaks through 880, I would assume you move up to 885 at least to fill this gap from yesterday pre-market. All right. So watch that. Oh, little rejection there. All right. So that's Tesla. 3 gap fill names. Let's first start with Amazon. Really interesting Amazon. Really interesting. I would love to play this. I mean, I am in this, but I would love to see it work. So I took a starter position on this play. If you guys are in the chat, you know that. It's very small. I'm a little early to it. So I'm just sort of dipping my toes in the water. But if it starts to work, I'm definitely going to try to get aggressive on this one. I really like the fact that Amazon is suspended on midair up here. It's literally on an island of price action. And if you can get below 132.41, that's the key level, 132.41. That is the low of this candle. That's the low of the July 29th candle. If we see that break, then I think you get into this gap fill, which would also be a break of this uptrend right here. So definitely watching this Amazon gap fill opportunity. There is about, what is this? This is about 5% of downside, about $7 a share, which could be very, very nice on some short expiration contracts if we can get that gap fill starting to move. So if I go to the hourly chart and I zoom out to the 90-day, the low that we need to break is the low of this candle. It's around 132.41, right? That's what I would be watching, okay? So 132.41, that's the Amazon level that I would be watching for that gap fill. So keep an eye on that. Next one was Walmart, and Walmart already did it. Walmart already filled the gap. So if you caught it, congratulations. If not, then just let it go at this point. I'm not going to be interested in it anymore because we sort of have the meat is gone, right? The meat is not the meat is off the bone. No meat left on the bone here, in my opinion, on Walmart. So it happened, right? If you caught it, very nice. It's just a classic gap fill play under this level. You can see the 2 red days, really nice fill of the gap, very aggressive, very quick, and back to 133.75. It's only about $1 off that. So just be careful. If you're still in Walmart, watch out for the potential demand here at this previous top. But very nice example of a gap fill here on Walmart. Disney is the one that I would like to also get involved in. I'm not in, but I know some of you guys are in from the chat. The low of this candle was 117.33. And let me go to the 5-minute chart. And you can see after breaking 117.33, we got the nice continuation flush under that level, right? And you can see Disney sort of holding up now, just in the pre-market though. And you can see we have that gap down towards 112.70. The high of this candle is 112.67. So that's something I'm watching today as well, guys. If we see market weakness, Disney for the gap fill, you got about, what is this? You have just about another 3% to the downside to fill that gap towards 112.67. So that's another one I'd watch. So overall, Disney, Walmart, and Amazon, all gap fills, all worth watching on those gap fills. Monitor them today, guys. Monitor them. All right. Microsoft. So Microsoft, actually interesting here. what I'm looking at on Microsoft is a rejection here early morning of this previous support. So if you guys see this candle low, that is the low of this candle is 278.40. The low of this candle is 278.35, and the low of this candle is around 277. But you can see these two candle lows right around that 278.50 level. And if I go to this chart here this morning, I saw something that I'm very interested in. You can see this morning in the pre-market and after hours, we got a push into that 278.50, and we are rejecting it. So if Microsoft maintains a hold below that level, let me see if I can get the hourly chart. I think you see it a little bit better on that. We go to the 90-day 1 hour. Here we go. So if Microsoft can maintain a hold below this key level, this 278.50, this zone of previous support here, and you can see we're turning it into a rejection point. If you hold below that rejection point, I think Microsoft needs to trade back to 272.50. So that's what I'm watching here on Microsoft. If the NASDAQ's weak, if we see more downside, if the overall market gets bearish today, then I would be watching Microsoft. That would be one of my favorite downside plays. Microsoft, Amazon would be two of my favorite large cap downside plays. So you have a previous support. Is this turn into a rejection, right? Do we turn this level into a rejection? Previous demand, previous support into resistance, right? That's what I'd be watching. 278.50, watching for that to turn into a rejection today. That's sort of a short-term level to watch. All right. XLE. So you got the XLE sort of maintaining this retest level, 78.65 right here. So you have a previous support, and you can see we're just sort of chilling above it. We haven't really made a big move just yet, but the fact that we are chilling above it is positive, right? That's a good sign. So you want to see it maintain the 78.60 level. That's a very crucial hold. So if you go to the hourly chart, you can just see this. You can see previous rejections right here, previous rejection, right? Previous rejections, and then you have it turning into support. So that is something I am monitoring right there. Rejection into support. I'm a little bit concerned of just overall macroeconomic effects of energy, but it does look like a hold. It is holding up on that 78.60. So if that continues to hold, I would continue to watch this. I mean, XOM is a little bit stuck here at 95, so be careful of that. You can see XOM is rejecting 95 again. That would be cautious of that. CVX really hasn't made a move, which is interesting. CVX is sort of dead. So it's a little bit slow right now. Does it heat up? Then, yeah, maybe. So I'm just sort of monitoring this energy sector. I'm not too aggressive in it yet. Really, for me, the thing that concerns me the most is CL. I would like to see CL back above 95 to be long energy. It's a little bit stuck under this downtrend, and it's stuck under this previous support into a rejection. So yeah, watch out for that on 95 on CL. That would be something I'm monitoring. All right, NVIDIA. So NVIDIA has earnings, so let's make that very clear. We're not getting into any plays here. We're not getting into anything aggressive. We have earnings coming up. It's not worth it. Don't gamble your money away. But let's just do some analysis on the chart and get an idea of where it is. So previous support, and you guys can see we're coming back down to it again. I think we talked about this yesterday. I think we talked about yesterday that we probably moved down to the 167 level. I think that's still possible if you see more downside on the market. I think you probably want to see this get retested. So support here, right? So we probably have a little bit more downside towards 167. However, remember, guys, where is your risk to reward on the downside here? It's terrible. You do not trade risk to reward to the down. Here's your risk to reward. Here's your reward. Your risk is honestly, if you really wanted to take this trade, it's back to here. So this is an inverse risk to reward. This is a terrible risk to reward. So you don't play puts here. You just watch it. You know, NVIDIA is going to be a little funky heading into earnings as well. Price action might be a little weird. Might be doing its own thing. So that's another thing to be careful of. But, you know, if you caught it here, beautiful, right? Here's your risk to reward to the downside. You buy your puts up here at the double top. You play to the downside. Now, you just either chill, or if you really want to be aggressive, you buy calls or you look for the demand to hold. But I personally would not do that. I would rather just watch this. I think I already talked to the chat today. I think NVIDIA is a no trade. I think if you miss this, you miss the play. But yeah, just watch out for 167. That's an important demand. And the highs around 190. So you're in about a 30-point zone, 30-point channel that you're sort of just trading in between. What I would personally recommend, guys, is wait for earnings. If earnings pops us here, then we know we're going to play the upside. If earnings pops us here, then we know we're going to play the downside, right? So once the earnings comes out, we should have a good idea of where this is going to move next, and then we can play that continuation. That's always the better idea. Okay? AMD has just sort of been stuck here under 100. Let me clean this up a little bit. So if I zoom out, whoops, didn't mean to do that. If I zoom out here, this whole $100 level has been really tough. I think you can see it better on the daily if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So right around this previous low, these previous lows here, you guys can see. Let me just clean this up for you. So why was I watching this 100 level? Well, if I draw a little zone here, right, you can see previous support, previous support, previous support, into a rejection, into a support and bounce, failed, rejection, 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 over and over again. So you can clearly see this $100 level is not easy on AMD. It broke the uptrend that it was on, right? We were on this little uptrend right around here, broke that uptrend, and we were also monitoring on the 4-hour, a little bit of a wedge. So if I go to the wedge on the 4-hour, we were sort of watching this, right? We were wedging right there, and you can see the downside came in. So that was just a really nice wedge into a supply, and boom, you get your rejection. Very clean, very nice. We broke under this level, 94. Next level to watch is the lows here of 92, 92.25, which is where we're holding. And under that, you're watching this 91.26. So I personally, again, my personal recommendation to you guys is to stay away from semiconductors this week. I think you just let them be and just sort of see what happens after NVIDIA. But this would be the key level to hold on AMD today. Right around this previous low. The low of this candle is 92.39. So yeah, that's where we held yesterday. That would be my key level to watch today. If you break below that, you could probably scalp some downside. That would be my recommendation if you're looking for downside. If you break under, you guys see where this held yesterday? 92.39. You can see the hold that's happening. Why is that important? Let me go ahead and get more time and I will show you why. So if we zoom out, look at where this previously held. Look at where this level previously held. Right here, you can see right there, and you can see we're there again. So 92.39 on AMD. If you flush that level, then you probably can scalp some downside. I look back as far as I have to watch previous levels, guys. I mean, in at least a year sometimes. If there's a level there, I want to know about it, right? So that's NVIDIA AMD. Zoom. Zoom, piece of crap. So Zoom, downside off earnings. What is it down? It's down 12%. Did it beat the expected move? Expected move was 11. Yeah, it sure. Yeah, it's just about at the expected move. So maybe puts are actually going to go up today. But let's go 4-hour. Let's get our time. Let's get as much time as we can here. So Zoom is approaching the lows of May. You guys can see right here. All in this zone. I don't know. Maybe there's some nice earnings downside continuation, but just be a little bit cautious of this bottom level support. You guys can see all here. You have this anywhere between 85 and 80. Could sort of hold as a previous where we sort of held to the upside. You can see right here we held 80 to 85, little demand zone. So just be careful in here. right? I'm not sure what's going to happen in there. I would watch that. I would say if you break 80, that's your easy play. I would say a break of 80 on Zoom, that's probably where things are going to get a little aggressive. If you get a downside move, retest. What's this 62 level I have here? Is this all-time lows? Oh, yeah. So under 80, yeah, I would assume this heads back to that 60. Right? Will Zoom give up the entire virus push? Where is that? Where's the virus? Right around here. So, yeah, that's what I'd be watching. If you break 80, you probably get that, but still, guys, I'm not really a Zoom trader, nor will I ever be, but just wanted to point that out. All right, Apple. 4 hour. All right, here we go. So, Apple 168. That is your key level here, guys. 168, and you can actually see already. Oh, I didn't even realize this. It's already starting to show rejections there. So 168 is a key level on Apple here, and look at what it's doing already this morning. So let me get to the 5-minute real quick. Just want to show you this. So you had a previous 168 key level. You can see it sort of messed around at that level yesterday. You had a little bit of a bounce here intraday. You had a flush right through it. Tried to get back above it, rejected. Look at what it's doing this pre-market. It's trying to get back above 168 and it just can't. So Apple, if Apple is sub 168, I would be looking for shorts. If you see Apple rejecting this 168 today, I would be looking to play that to the downside. The next level would obviously be yesterday's lows, 167.14. If you break yesterday's lows, then you're coming back down to the triple top right here. If you're coming back down to this triple top right here, right around 166.50. So if you break yesterday's lows, 167.14, look for the triple top here of 166.50. But the key thing to watch here on Apple today is the rejection of 168. The rejection of 168, that is extremely key. Look at it right here. This is a really beautiful previous low into a rejection. This is a day over day lower low. All right, something going on with the market here? What are we getting? We getting some downside? Yeah, a little bit of downside. That Amazon gap fill, come on, man. I need this one. This would be nice. Really love this Amazon play. This would be a really nice gap fill to play. Hopefully that comes down for us today. Looks like a little bit of downside in the market there. Not sure what caused that. But yeah, Apple's sort of just a really clean rejection right there. 168, guys. Definitely watch this today. All right. Last but not least, PANW. This is the earnings runner. They said, I think they also announced a stock split. Bunch of price target increases, buy ratings. Pretty bullish sentiment on this one this morning. Wow, a lot of price target increases. Holy crap. Like every single bank. Barclays, Wedbush, Raymond James, Piper Sandler, Citigroup, BMO, Stifel Nicholas, right? It's Nicholas Stifel? I think that's what it is. Mizuho, UBS, Guggenheim, Deutsche Bank, RBC, Jefferies, Goldman. Geez. They all changed their stuff on this. Damn. That's a lot. So, yeah. Nice push. Nice earnings push, nice upside continuation, and on top of that, guys, if you look at the 4-hour chart, this is breaking out of a pretty tight range. You can see this range between 540 and 470, and look at the break of the range. So is there probably some momentum here? There probably is today, guys. There probably is. There probably is some momentum, at least, that you can trade. Of course, you know, the safer trade is to wait for the retest of this level. Does it retest today? I doubt it, unless the market really tanks. But I would assume this one has a little bit of momentum in it after that earnings. So I would keep an eye on it. It's going to be a little tough to trade, obviously, because it's already up so much. It's going to have to do a gap and go. If you guys are familiar with gap and go, that's when a stock gaps up on earnings and continues. That's a gap and go. So you're going to have to see that gap and go continuation. I would look for maybe a move towards 570. right around this previous rejection, maybe to 570. I'd be careful as it approached that, though. It's only about 10 points higher. All right? But yeah, definitely some positive sentiment, bullish sentiment around PANW this morning. All right, so we're going to go ahead and look at a few more stocks here. If you guys could take 1 second, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. That would be great. We have no one participating in the live stream ticker form, so we're going to do PayPal for Quentin. I got maybe time for about 5 or 6 here. So if you put something in the chat and I like it, I will favor people that have the little green name. So if someone with a green name says something, I will favor them because they are supporters of the live stream. That is a perk of theirs. CrowdStrike. I could throw CrowdStrike in there. Target. Thoughts on Ape. Shop. We looked at CVX already. You guys really want me to look at Ford, huh? UNH. The TQQQ is the exact same thing as the NASDAQ. All right, here we go. Shit. What did I do? All right, we got speed round, really big speed round coming up here because we got a lot. All right, PayPal, CrowdStrike, Target, Shop, Lowe's, UNH, Meta, Cost, and Netflix. That's what we're looking at. Okay, we got to go speed round. I'm actually interested just to look at Ford because, guys, when a chart looks like this, if this is your chop. What is going on with Ford here? Why did it gap down like this? Under 14, it's going to die. Or 15, I'm sorry. Under 15, it's going to come right back down to here. That's a no volume zone here on Ford. 15, under 15, you're going to 13. All right. PayPal. Jay Price, member for 5 months. Good morning, brother. If it doesn't work out, get happy. Happy hunting. Oh, I'm always happy. You make me happy, Jay Price. Thank you, man. All right, PayPal. Yeah, I'm watching the gap fill on PayPal as well, guys. So if we break under 93.60, I would look for the gap fill towards this 89, 88 level. Under 93.60, 88, 89. There's a gap right here to fill. You need to break 93.60. CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is rejecting a little bit here. Where is it rejecting? I mean, it's back below this key level here. So yeah, anything CrowdStrike under 190 is weakness. It actually looks like it's up today. Do they have earnings? Is there news on CrowdStrike? So I think CrowdStrike's just moving up on price target increases. I'm not really sure what CrowdStrike's moving up on. This is such a choppy chart, man. Just watch out for maybe these wick highs. This is a really choppy chart. Maybe 195, right up in here at these previous rejection points. But yeah, that's a pretty choppy chart there. Be careful here, guys. 195 would be where I'm watching. Sympathy move off what? PANW? Okay. Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah, so be careful. Be careful going long the sympathy play if there's rejections above, I would say. I'm not probably the most familiar with this, with how PANW moves. I don't really trade it, nor do I ever trade CrowdStrike. I'm not sure how they move off sympathy plays, so you're probably better versed on that than me. But I would just watch these wick rejections around this 195. You have one here, right? You have one here. You have some wicks here. Look where these wicks closed. All these wicks closed below 195. So if they wicked up above 195 and closed below it, that means you could possibly see a move above 195 and a rejection of it intraday. So just watch 195. That would be my recommendation. All right, Target. Yeah, Target just lost it. I mean, it tried to do the gap fill. It rejected the exact level it needed to reject, and it did it. It rejected it. It's down. It's looking like it wants to move back towards 160, in my opinion. So I was actually looking at this one this morning. So right here, 161 or 163.27 was a major level to hold. You can see it right here. Yes, you needed to hold this 163.27 right there. So you can see it is below that. It flushed it. It's now inside of a channel of low volume right here. No volume there. So just it's going to come right back down, right? Target will most likely come back down to 160 to retest these levels. Retest this rejection. Retest this rejection. It's not going to randomly hold in a no volume area. All right, so I would assume Target tries to retest that 160. Shopify is back within its channel. It's just still consolidating, doing nothing. Yeah, doing nothing. I would continue to look to trade Shopify in this channel. If Shop gets towards that low 30 area, I would look to long it. If it gets up to 40, I would look to short it. That until that proves otherwise, that would be my game plan on Shop. Lows. Let's go daily chart. Yeah, just a real big rip on lows over the last few weeks. Does it withstand that move? 220, pretty nice rejection there. You can see previous lows, rejection, pretty clean rejection. What is this level here? 206. So I would want to see lows turn this previous rejection point anywhere between 209 and 206. You guys can see previous support, rejection. I would want to see lows hold that, right? Turn it into support and maybe go for another push. So I would want to see lows hold at least 206, 205 on this pullback. Previous rejections here turning into support. That's what I'd watch. UNH, yeah, all-time high rejection. That's pretty clear, guys. Very difficult for a stock to get through all-time highs in this environment. But UNH is just an absolute monster. Would I be buying calls at all-time high? Simple answer to that is no. Meta. Yeah, Meta's just in that nice channel. This is a great example of channel trading. The trade is over, though, right? This is where you have to give it up. You do not buy puts on Meta after it just dropped 10% in 4 days, right? You don't just continue to chase this thing. The people that make money on these trades are the ones that are buying puts at the supply rejections, right? People that buy here, they start to buy here, they start to load in, they understand that there's a rejection possible. I'm going to play the rejection with my stop above here. I'm in before everyone else, and when this rejection starts to play out, that's when I get paid. The people that start chasing it here, buying puts because it's down 10%, are the ones that see this. Boom. Those are the people that lose their money. The people that are chasing this down 10% into demand. The risk to reward on downside here is totally inversed. It's like a 1 to 6. So my recommendation for you is if you're not in meta puts, you missed it. You have to accept that and you have to move on. If you want to look for a demand hold, you can, right? If you want to try to play the demand hold, that's possible for it to look for it to do that again. I don't play news. If you see news on a stock, don't play it. That's my recommendation. You're just going to get wrapped into it and you're going to lose your money most likely. Play setups. Play trade setups. Play your strategy. Your strategy is not to run around blindly chasing news events. If that's your strategy, you will not be a successful trader. News events, chasing news, chasing catalysts. Trade a trade setup that you can consistently trade on a daily basis. That's my recommendation. Costco's sort of doing nothing here. I mean, maybe Costco retests this 532. That would be the only that would be the only area I'm interested in Costco. Retest the 532. All right, Netflix. Netflix needs to reject 230. If you see Netflix reject 230, I would look for a downside. And we have to get out of here. Last one. Intuit has earnings. Good luck. I can't help you on earnings. Intuit has earnings tomorrow or today, one of these days. So wait for it to report. All right, guys. That's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, press the like button before you head out. We got 1,300 people here. Let's see. Can we get... I wonder if my stream will ever get 1,000 likes. That would be a big one. If you guys could help that happen, 1,000 likes on a stream, that is... we have not seen that yet. I don't think. Maybe I'll look back and check. But if you guys enjoy the streams, if you come here on a daily basis, I would love to see your support. Just press the like button. That helps a ton. That gets this out to more people. Helps me stay motivated. Makes me know that people are actually interested in hearing me talk to myself on the screen. So, yeah, thank you guys for everything. Thank you for your support. Press that like button, subscribe, and watch those gap fills. Watch those gap fills and watch that NASDAQ level. 12.9 to 12.8, guys. This is huge. 40.80 on the ES to 41.80 on the ES. Big levels to watch. If you want to get these levels on the NASDAQ and ES for free every single morning, check it out down below. It says free technicals. Completely free. 100% free. Not selling you anything. You press it. You join the Discord. You get the free technicals on the ES and the NASDAQ. I do it here over live stream, so why not add it to a text format for you guys to refer to intraday, refer to if you can't make it to the stream. So make sure to check that out. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.